Hi, this is Carolyn, and I'm here with Erin, and we really appreciate Meghan being with us tonight. She just won the 3-0 state championship. Way to go, Meghan. So, Erin, can you start us off with the first question?
Yeah, sure. And congratulations. Winning states is hard to do. We've been there several times, and you go to states and not win more than you go to states and win. So congrats.
That's right.
That's awesome.
That's right.
So can you tell us about when you started playing tennis, what your experience is?
Sure. So one of my friends, our boys grew up playing baseball together, and we wwe were just sitting at a tournament, and we were on the bleachers, and she turned and looked at me and was like, "Hey girl, you like tennis?" And I was like, I don't know. And so she got me plugged into a Western Wake winter ladies league. Okay. And wasn't USTA or anything like that. I joined that as a 2-5, and then my first spring, she talked me into that too, was I guess 2018. And most of us from that team were all still friends. We actually just had lunch yesterday. So she got me into tennis, and it was great. It was awesome.
That's awesome. Yeah, you always need that friend that, whether you've ever played before or not, said, you can do this. And then, yeah, we've talked to a lot of people that, I didn't touch a racket till I was 40. I'd done other sports, and there's so many people we had a lady that jumped in when she was 56, others that played as a kid. And then just like you, just needed some, fun competitive outlet as an adult.
I was 37.
Yeah, that's awesome. That's great. So how did you find your team?
So most of these ladies, even from 2018, are still together. There's 4 of us. We got nicknamed the Fierce Four. And so we are all still together, us 4. We still text and talk all the time. A lot of these ladies, I played in a match, and it was just such a great match. Whether I won or lost, I would get their contact info and talk them into playing with me again in the future. And then some of the ladies on this team are friends of ladies I already had on my team. And that is basically how this team was made. So
that's great.
A small knit group that just expanded. I guess we had 15. We had a full roster.
Right.
That's great.
I have to say, I like that you played against people and got their contact info.
Yes.
Because I had a team.
I'm famous for that.
Me too. I actually had a team a couple years ago. I would play singles a lot for my spring team. And usually the doubles courts would be finished up, and then I would be finishing up. And almost every person I would can I get your contact info?
Yes.
And so my team started making fun of me. They would yell down to my court, are you exchanging phone numbers again?
Yes.
But that's why I have so many great tennis friends from all over the community,
Yes.
not just my club. So
yeah, and before COVID, Erin would be hugging her opponent. So after the match, so it was always
hugging, no handshakes anymore. I miss that.
Yeah. See, if Meghan and I played against each other, we would have already had each other's phone numbers.
Oh, absolutely.
And probably would have hugged too.
Yes.
Right.
Yes. Okay, Meghan, I see that you're the captain of the team that won states. That's so great. You could not pay me to captain an adult recreational team of women. Can you talk about maybe the best and worst parts of captaining?
Sure. So I do have some OCD tendencies, so I'm very, very thorough and organized, which people love that. I usually put out the whole schedule ahead of time. So the best part of captaining for me is the charts and the puzzle of figuring out who can play with who when, and then even the availability. We have a town team, so I even handle all the court fees on my own, and then everyone pays me their court fees, and then just seeing it all come together and have a great season. That's the best. I just love that part. The worst for me is waiting for everyone to put in their availability, and then on the tough matches deciding who I'm going to play and who I'm not going to play.
Yeah.
I hate that part. So.
Yeah, because
we have great chemistry on this team. I mean, everyone, I'll call them and I'll text them and I'll say, what do you want? Who do you want to partner with? What can I do to just make this work for you? And then they all give me their feedback. But at the end of the day, every single one of them will say, I will do whatever you need me to do.
Yeah.
And that is just this group of ladies. They're just so awesome.
Yeah. That's great.
I've had no drama. No drama.
That's the key. That's
Yes.
actually key. We've had a couple teams, Carolyn and I, where we're like, there's no drama, and it makes winning easier because you don't have to deal with any of that outside silliness.
Yes.
You know,
Yes.
you just go and play your matches. And I always say as a captain that I put people on courts where I think that they're going to succeed. And that doesn't necessarily mean they're going to win or they're going to lose or I'm going to flip a court or roll a court. What we found out is another. But put them where they are most likely to succeed, even if that means a loss, but it's going to be really good tennis. You know,
Yes.
like I won't put a player that hits a ball really super hard against somebody that I know is going to be on a court that, hits a really softball or hits a lot of lobs or whatever. And so that doesn't mean, like, I don't want people to have their self-worth put in a match because it really comes down to like a captaining deciding based on strategy where they're going to be the most successful.
Right.
So it sounds like you do that.
Yes.
Also.
And most of these ladies have set partners. And then
That's great.
some of them didn't, but through the process of the season, we found partnerships that worked really well. And that's another key to our success, really, is good partnerships.
That is. I'll bet if we took teams that go on to states and to see what their lineups are, I'll bet they're the ones that have the most continuity between like keeping partners together.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
It's key.
That's awesome. So do you do research on teams before
gosh.
before you set your lineups?
Yes. Everyone makes fun of me.
We all do it, believe me. All the captains
I think all
that
the
are
teams that
successful
win
captains
states do it. Yeah, if you're winning
It's
states,
true.
you're doing
And
it.
I like to and I like to hear what other people's methods are because I know we're all doing it, but
I have a notebook that I handwrite everything out. I make physical charts with who we are going to be playing. I'm not normally during the season because I pretty much know everyone in our league and kind of what to do. But for states and now sectionals, just to evaluate who we're going to play. So I make a chart and I use tennis rating to just write down what their supposedly level of play is. And then I put in their records for 3.0 doubles and then 3.5 doubles and then 3.0 singles and then 3.5 singles. And then I put how long they've played and then I put if they're under 40 because that is key.
yeah.
So, and then I just...
That's her metrics. I like that.
That's my metric.
I have other metrics too, I'll tell you, but go ahead.
Yeah. And then I can see, is this a single stud? Is this girl normally only D1 and she always wins?
Right.
Then I can just kind of get a feel for the caliber of team we're getting ready to play. I have a lot of confidence in my ladies. I don't stack courts or anything like that. I played straight up all year. Nice. And then we just played with confidence on who we were going to face. And then I personally, to me, the scariest person that I see on a roster is the highest rated player who is under 40 and is a stud singles player. Yeah. That is the player that I'm like, oh, great. She's going to be really tough. Yeah. So, and I'm a singles player. So I mainly only play singles on this team.
Gotcha.
So.
Yeah. And that person's a self-rate, too.
I had a... Right,
yes!
Yeah, that's what you look for.
Oh, God.
The person's self-rated.
Yes.
They're not computer-rated.
Yeah.
They're self-rated.
Yeah.
Carolyn knows these people.
Yes.
And especially
I play singles a lot, too.
No one getting bumped.
Yeah.
It's just a weird year because there's so many self-rated people that have continued on in 2021 from 2020, and well, they should not be at this level anymore.
Yeah.
But a lot of us shouldn't either, so...
Right, exactly.
It's
a lot of
fair
stuff.
game.
It's going to get flushed out. It'll get flushed out in November when the new ratings come out. I actually had a girlfriend years ago who her team was going on they went to states and sectionals as well. And she even researched whether they worked during the day, like how long they'd been playing, because there's so many factors, I think if she had been able to figure out how often do they clinic,
Yeah.
She was doing as much research, but they won both states and sectionals.
Wow, that's impressive.
Yeah, her metrics were
Yes.
They were.
And that is true. Most of my ladies do work full time. We were a weekend team.
Yeah.
So, yeah, if I see a daytime team from a country club, then I know we're in trouble.
It's on. It's on. Yeah.
It's on. It is on.
That's right.
Oh, that's awesome.
Okay, so Meghan, can you tell us that you won the most memorable part of states?
Sure. There wasn't like obviously the championship match afterwards was awesome. You know, we were just celebrating, but the whole weekend as a whole, just being there together, we all stayed in the same hotel. We went out to eat together. We hung out together. We went to the matches together. Whoever wasn't playing, you know, no one was coming and going. We stayed as a unit the whole time. Like I said before, my team really, we just have great chemistry. And before every match, I would have us stand in a circle and we'd hold hands and I would talk to them and we'd pray together. And the whole thing, it was just, they're some of my best friends.
Yeah.
So
that's hard to do too at our age because like you talked about coming and going, there have been states where we've had people going in and out of town because it's, you know, whatever season it is, it might be summer where, you know, you have things to do with, you know, family or friends or kids or whatever. But yeah, being able to be together all weekend and know that everyone is kind of there, whether you're on a court playing or on the sidelines cheering, you know, that's awesome. I think that's really, yeah,
it was great.
It's hard to do that.
Yes.
It's hard to get that.
So another favorite part of mine at States was the support we had from back home. I had opposing captains in our league texting me, following us, cheering for us. And we were sitting around dinner one night when one of the opposing captains sent me a text. And I told, you know, my teammates, and literally, even talking about it now, it brings me to tears because we have such a close relationship with everyone in our league. And even now going to sectionals, you know, they're all cheering for us and they will just text me and they want to know how we're doing and they're going to follow us. And I love that. I love the community of women that we have in our league.
Yeah. Yeah.
So awesome.
That's great. I had a captain email us when we were at States and same thing. I was with my team and I read it out loud and I was like, a captain that we faced and beat in playoffs to get to States has now emailed and is cheering us on and watching everything we're doing. And then I saw her recently and it was so awesome to reconnect with her. And just to, have people cheering you on, you know, that you beat too. So yeah.
I love these ladies.
So, Meghan, what advice would you give to another team that's going to States for their first time?
For a team, I would say just enjoy it. It is such a fun experience, win or lose. It is just so much fun to go and compete and meet all these other ladies from all over our state. That was my third time going to States. The other 2 times were for singles, but I have always met some of just the funnest, nicest people. It's a shame with the COVID restrictions, they're not doing the social. They didn't this year, but that was always really fun too. If when you go, there's a social, definitely attend that. It is so fun. And for the advice I would have for captains is have a plan, make it early, let your teammates know your plan because your team can relax knowing what to expect. You know, put out the lineups that you're going to use, read through all the rules, be organized so that if something crazy pops up, you're prepared and you know what you're going to do. And that just really keeps everything cool, calm, and collected. So we always talk about being cool, calm, and collected.
That is really good advice because I know a lot of teams that go to States and then make a plan, and those are the ones where those players they're not playing together anymore. There've been hurt feelings. I didn't get enough matches. You know, this, that, and the other. And that is so smart, Meghan, that you do that because it really sets everyone's expectations before they've spent money to go away.
Absolutely.
To go be in a stressful situation where you're competing, you know? So that's
also,
awesome.
then they're ready. They already know. Okay, I'm playing with this partner on this day at this time. They can just be ready.
Yeah. I really like that too. I don't normally captain, but just as a player to know, okay, I am going to play on this day, and I'm going to play maybe on the next day. Even if I don't play well on this day, I'm going to play the next day at this time. So I like that you put that out there so everybody is kind of on the same page going into it.
Absolutely. Unless, someone gets sick or gets injured.
Right, injured, yeah.
Even if you had a bad match, which happened at States. I had a couple ladies have a couple just not so great matches, but I didn't change a thing. And you know what? Their third match, they killed it.
Yeah,
they
gave them confidence that they didn't get pulled.
Yeah. I would never do that.
Yeah. I like it. So you win based on organization. I'm taking notes. These are all the right things to do and how to win states.